a big thing as well is like, you know, the big thing I'll also look at with that is one thing I'll say, as we've mentioned many times in this podcast, is whatever you do, make sure you have a good relationship with your parents. Drives you mad. I see a lot of people that don't have that. Make sure you have that. So like that comes part of being kind. Like you regret the fact if you don't have a good relationship with your parents, because you only have two of them. Like some people only have one of them. Make sure like that's so important to me. Like it's only the last, I'd say, 7 or 8 years where they've become like my best friends. Make sure that's so important. And like I think people, like if you have someone home and if you've got something going on, you'll regret it. Go have a pint with your dad. Go bring your mother out shopping. Go do something with them.
Yeah.
You regret it. I'm telling you, like
Friend
you're close with your dad. Like
listen,
you know what it's like.
My mum and dad are superstars.
Do you know?
Absolute superstars, and I'm very lucky. And I think some people who don't necessarily or haven't seen my relationship and friendship, I think, don't understand it. So because they don't have maybe as close a relationship with their.
What are you doing? Going having
parents.
pints with your dad? You're like, my dad's great. That's how you think.
I've been so lucky to have, and like they've been going through their own challenges health wise and all that stuff over the last number of years. But one of my mates said to me, and he lost his dad when his dad was 42 when he passed away, right? And he lost his dad, and he's just after beating his dad's age, right? Of being alive, which was a massive thing for him, right? And he looked at me and he said, make sure every time you see your parents, give them a hug, right? Because he said, if they're in their 70s now, he says, average expectancy is 75, 80 type of thing. You see them 3 or 4 times a year. How many times you're going to see them? All that type of stuff. He puts it into kind of perspective, you know. So if that's 10 times, 10 years, you see them 3 times, you get 30 chances to give them a hug. You know, that's mental, right? So it's trying to get to the point where you're creating that reason, or always, and not creating a reason, but you're telling them you love them, give them a hug. They're so influential and so impactful in our lives that when we can't do it, we'll be raging that we can't, you know.